Hey, Ronnie,
Hey, Lou.
what does a furniture store have to do with a pregnancy test? We'll tell you next on Men Are So Smart. You ever looking through Facebook, scrolling down, and you come across a story, Ron, and you go, oh, seriously, come on, really?
All the time.
Yeah.
Every day.
Well, those stories fall into a category we call not real news.
There we go.
IKEA released a magazine ad which includes a pregnancy test. That's the rumor.
Yeah.
In 2012, a New York Times Magazine article sparked privacy concerns by describing big box retailer Target's attempts to use data to find out whether their customers were pregnant. An IKEA ad campaign in January of 2018 takes away the need to gather complex data to determine whether customers are pregnant by simply asking women to dab their own urine on the advertisement itself. If the woman is pregnant, the paper shows a coupon for a crib.
Why can't men just pee on it? Because, that would be so much easier for guys.
We could write our names.
Swedish ad agency Ekström Holst created the ad, which appears in what IKEA called a limited edition of the women's magazine Amelia, and reads in part, "Peeing on this ad may change your life."
Wow.
Yes. Why do retailers care when women get pregnant? According to journalist Charles Duddig, the birth of a child is the most optimal time to recruit customers. I'd have to agree with that.
That's taking demographics to a whole new level.
I mean, how many cribs and mattresses and strollers and diapers and everything else do you buy? There are some brief periods, however, in a person's life when old routines fall apart and buying habits are suddenly in flux. One of those moments, the moment really, is right around the birth of a child, when parents are exhausted and overwhelmed, and their shopping patterns and brand loyalties are up for grabs.
Well, the pregnancy test strip was used as a starting point, which relies on antibodies that bind to the pregnancy hormone HCG, resulting in a color change. For scaling up this technique and adopting it to the physical format of a printed ad, Mersine Labs has used their experience in development of surface active materials for microfluidics and medical diagnostics. Careful selection of materials together with a controlled capillary flow have been crucial for the success of this project. Technical advancements made during this work with this campaign have the potential to improve medical diagnostics. True story. It's real news.
Yep.
I heard all about it. I never saw the ad itself. But I mean, really, what are they asking women to do? To rip the little cologne tear out, squat on the potty, pee on it in their hand,
and then hold it in front of your face and read it.
and wave it around to people. Look, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant.
I wonder if you have to do the same thing you do with a Polaroid and shake it for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You might want to do that anyway, just so you get some of the excess liquid off.
Oh, and by the way, don't do it on the Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
No, it's not.
That would be not real news.
No.
All right, our next story. Robbers are flinging eggs at cars to impair drivers' vision and force them to stop. Now, I've been hearing this for a long time.
Oh, this is one of 100 different supposed ways that people are getting you to get out of your car.
I think it goes back to like 2009.
Yes. First sightings of a warning about eggs being thrown at vehicles came in October of 2009. If you're driving at night and are attacked with eggs, do not operate the wiper and spray water. Eggs mixed with water becomes milky and blocks your vision.
It does.
Up to 92.5%.
How do they know that?
Yeah, they did some tests. Very scientific tests.
My mother had me tested.
This new technique used by robbers, please inform your friends and relatives. It also happens on interstates near exits.
Though we've asked police contacts and scoured news reports looking for accounts of robberies and carjackings affected by disabling target vehicles by pelting them with raw eggs. We did that back in high school. I could tell you a story about that.
It was all part of an experiment.
Yes, it was science. See, when I do that, it makes it all right. We haven't been able to document any such occurrences in the U.S. In all the years they've been tracking this legend, the most they've turned up is a single unverified account. While a mixture of raw eggs and water vigorously stirred together in a glass will produce a somewhat milky-looking liquid, there's nothing about the interaction of egg and water that renders the resulting combination into a substance guaranteed to completely block a driver's vision. Egg alone, or egg and water solutions, are thin liquids, and so are relatively easy to see through, with the vehicle's wipers generally sweeping away the mess fairly easily. The story is false. Yeah, it's not real news.
No.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, you know what it does? It does suggest a way of people to try carjacking, if anything else. And these stories are all reported by Snopes. Right. And you know that Snopes is the mythbuster of these fake news stories.
Yeah.
All right, we got another one.
Aquafina bottled water does not freeze.
Yeah, I saw this. I actually saw a dude do this in his backyard.
So the claim is that Aquafina bottled water doesn't freeze. Rumors that Aquafina does not freeze have been a fixture of the internet for over a decade.
I just saw it recently.
It's resurfaced. Internet forums and blogs, claims are usually presented anecdotally and are often layered with strong innuendo about what nefarious chemicals are in Aquafina or what they could be hiding in their products.
When you watch it, it makes you wonder.
I guess it kind of would. I never really thought about it. The claims resurfaced with a YouTube video titled Aquafina Doesn't Freeze. Why?
Yeah.
Antifreeze.
No.
Yeah, well, that's what they said. Which has been posted on conspiracy-focused websites. That video shows a construction worker at a chilly job site perplexed by a number of partially consumed, unfrozen bottles of Aquafina surrounded by a variety of other bottled waters that are frozen solid.
Yeah, it bears mentioning that this video, uploaded by a guy who captioned it with a lengthy but largely unrelated rant about Monsanto and the government of Canada, provides no evidence that the liquid in the bottles is actually water and not, for example, vodka.
Which doesn't freeze.
It shouldn't.
No.
Unless, as we found out on another episode of the Vodka Talk, Belvedere vodka, when stored in the freezer, it's perfect. It doesn't freeze.
Yeah.
However, when you take the Costco brand, what's it called again? Kirkland
Yes.
vodka, it freezes.
Yeah.
Why? Because it has so much water in it. Some water. So the liquid in the bottles was actually exposed to the same freezing temperatures for the same period of time as the other bottles. Therefore, this video cannot be used in support of the claim that Aquafina bottled water does not freeze. Similarly, there is no reason to take it any more seriously than numerous YouTube videos of Aquafina actually freezing.
And we may have to do our own experiment here.
It's cold enough this morning.
It definitely is. We can do it right now. The Aquafina water is so pure. Now, this is what they're saying.
Okay, I want to hear this.
It's so pure that it is able to exist in a supercooled state where the temperature is below freezing, but the water is unable to form an initial crystal to start the freezing process. Wow, who'd have thought it? Or that some sort of antifreeze, radioactive, or other dangerous chemical has been added to the water to prevent it from freezing.
Neither explanation holds any water or
Right.
ice. Super cooled water exists in a liquid state below the freezing point of water, something that can occur if water contains no impurities and is cooled slowly without disturbance. Not real news.
No.
Okay, I don't know how they faked it, but it's been proven that it's not true.
Totally false.
You know what you notice about not real news is when you read these stories, they start layering and layering the details.
Yeah.
You know, I heard one the other day where some completely unrelated fact was given in the story. Had nothing to do with it, but it was to substantialize what they were trying to prove.
Yeah, well, and typically there is no backup for it. If they did a time lapse with two waters side by side, cracked the lid open so you could tell that there was nothing but real water inside, it would be blown. There's never any real evidence. It's just wild speculation. And
yeah, and we're just two men. We really can't solve the world's problems.
not completely.
Not every day.
Yeah, one problem at a time.
Yeah, like maybe a couple a week.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, could we do the experiment
Yes.
in the name of
science.
Yeah, we could, but we just don't have time.
No.
No. Or time-lapse photography. I'm going to put two bottles out there with your cell phone, not mine. We use my phone enough, Ronnie.
We definitely do.
And now you've got the better of the phones.
I have the newer phone.
And that's real news. All right, we want to thank you for watching today. We indeed appreciate you, both of us. Below, you'll see a little box there that says description, and it'll give you some information on a plethora of things about us, where you can find us, how to contact us.
Yep. And you know what? If you come up with any fake news stories, send us the link. We'd love to look at it. Maybe it'll be on our next show.
And we'll myth bust that sucker.
Yeah, we will.
Yep. So that's about all we got. Please remember, if you are in the need for services that one of our sponsors provides, please use our sponsor.
Yeah.
They support our show, help us bring it to you absolutely free.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to the conclusion of another grueling episode of Men Are So Smart. I'm Lou Gallagher.
Corvette Ronnie.
How about this?
I'm exhausted.
How about we see you next time?